Boy, you wanna know what? Here's a good goddamn truth. I hate work. This is not gonna be one of those, but if it's been a tough day, a tough couple of days, or a tough week, it's the hardest thing to get me to like get out of bed, or let alone go to sleep, to wake up and do the same thing tomorrow. But like I said, this is not gonna be one of those, because in my case, I think I can develop passion or motivation to do anything that I put my mind to, and I spend time doing. Like, if I think back, I've had a job where I had to, I was filing tax returns for entirely too many people for too many months and too cold a winter. And when I think about it, my least favorite parts of that time were the 2-hour bus rides to and from the work site. Now, luckily, I was fortunate enough to have a good band of buds to keep me chuckling and giggling. But that didn't cure the loathing, you know what I mean? That didn't make it all go away. That didn't change the fact that every single day I would speed and put everybody's lives at risk just so that we could get to work a little bit faster. And in all honesty, everybody seemed fine with it because we got there faster and we were able to get our work done sooner, you know what I mean? Nobody wanted to be there. But did it? Did it actually get us there faster? Was the time that it shaved off actually significant enough for me to toe the line of 7 counts of manslaughter every single day, every week? More importantly, was the time that I shaved off enough to justify the possible court charges and ticket charges and points on my license and court dates, just so that I could get to a place that I don't want to be at sooner? Doesn't make sense. But let's do some math with sample numbers so that I don't incriminate myself. I've done the math, and the numbers are on these papers, and I'll read them to you. Okay, so for instance, let's say that we're traveling 15 miles and we're going the speed limit at 60 miles per hour. 15 miles at 60 miles per hour. We get there in 15 minutes. 15 miles at 70 miles per hour, we get there in 12 minutes and 50 seconds. 15 miles, 80 miles per hour, we get there at 11 minutes and 15 seconds. 15 miles at 100 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour above the speed limit, we get there in 9 minutes. If you want to call that significant, I'd say until you get to 40 miles per hour above the speed limit, the time distance, the arrival time difference between the speed limit and above the speed limit is not significant enough to be speeding. 6 minutes to drive 40. Okay, now let's look at the New York traffictickets.com. For 1 to 10 miles over the speed limit, which was 70 miles per hour, we get awarded up to $150 ticket, $100 court charge, 3 points on your license, all for the first offense. For 11 to 30 miles per hour above the speed limit, that's 80 miles per hour, awarded up to $300 a ticket, $100 court charge, 4 points on your license for first offense. And for anything above 31 miles per hour above the speed limit, that's 100 miles per hour in our trials, you get awarded up to $600 ticket, $100 court charge, 11 points on your license, and death. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. None of that and those prices aren't accounting for the costs for instances of bad weather, bad emotions, like moods, residential areas, work zones, possible insurance spikes, and the cost of gas mileage and gas range and that stuff. So let's think about that. Let's say we get 22 miles per gallon and we have 14 gallons. This is my car. Out of that entire tank, which costs $50 to fill up every single week, out of a 22 mile per gallon tank, 14 gallons, you get 308 miles. Everything else being equal, the faster you go, the lower your gas mileage. That's just fact. 20 miles per gallon versus 22 miles per gallon, you're speeding up a little bit. 20 miles per gallon in a 14 gallon tank, you get 280 miles out of your tank. 18 miles per gallon, you get 252 miles. 15 miles per gallon, you get 210 miles out of your entire tank. Think about the amount of time that you drive. Think about the amount of miles that you drive. Think about the amount of trips that you want to go on. Think about the amount of time that you're going to have to fill up, and it doesn't make sense. And I'm very fortunate that it didn't take me until I got into a bad car accident to hurt someone to find out that what I was doing was stupid. All I had to do was sit down and think about it at all. And it just doesn't there's no rationale behind it that can add up in me. However, truth be told, the math does work out better at slower speed limits and at longer distances. And I could have left that unsaid, but I'm here to spread truth. Don't be a maniac. Nobody deserves to be murdered by an idiot driving recklessly on the streets. Drive the speed limit. You're gonna get there in the same time. Enjoy your music and cherish the time before you have to be at that place where they're gonna ring you out, but just to have you come back tomorrow to sop it back up. You know what I mean? I'm here to persuade y'all to do differently and be better. But if you're already on the path of murder, if you're already married to the idea of killing and being a maniac on the street, then I'm not going to change you. I'm not going to deter you. But if you are not married to the idea of murder, and if you feel like you have something to be living for, then there's no point, there's no reason, there's no rationale to be speeding. But do what you're going to do, you know what I'm saying? If you don't believe me, oh well. Don't blame me, blame algebra.